My lead generation strategy as a car salesman. Check it out. What's going on, guys? It's Corey. So I want to go over my lead generation strategy as a car salesman. All right, this strategy is the same exact strategy that allowed me to make over 30 grand in a single month and over $200,000 in just 9 months of selling cars at the age of 22. Right, and I want to pretty much give you a high level overview of the strategy that I implemented to be able to generate consistent leads, to be able to, obviously make that income selling cars, and also then I'm going to take you to my computer so I can kind of show you some examples of me actually doing it in real time. So before I give you the broad overview of kind of like what the strategy all entails, right? We've coined a phrase, right, for the students that I work with, and also, me personally, we've coined the phrase of the strategy that we use, and we call it the visibility stack method. Okay? So the visibility stack method is pretty much the name of the overall strategy and the system that we're using and implementing to be able to generate leads, right? And kind of like the name entails, the visibility stack, right? So we're stacking visibility as much as possible because, like I always say, car sales is not just a skills game, but it also is a numbers game, right? So the more people you can get in front of, essentially, obviously, the more leads, the more opportunities you're going to have, which means the more deals you're going to close, right? This is kind of the nature of the beast, right? So understanding the visibility stack method, we pretty much break it down into two parts. So on social media, right, what I was doing was I was implementing organic marketing. So this is the first part. So the first part of the visibility stack method is implementing an organic marketing strategy. All right. So as a car salesman, right, and I have videos on this channel pretty much breaking down, the type of organic posts you should be making or the type of content you should be producing. All right. But essentially the goal behind creating organic marketing is to, one, position you as the expert, the authority, and for you to build trust into your marketplace, right? You need to make people get to know you, like you, and to trust you, right? And you do that from one part of is your content, right? So your content has to pretty much position you as the authority and as the trusted advisor when people are looking at your content, right? So how do we do this, right? I always cover things such as, posting social proof. You can do this by posting other customers, right? One of the easiest ways for you to get new customers is for them to see other people that's already bought from you and had a great experience. So you can post videos, testimonials with customers. You could just take pictures with customers. And then, like I said, I'm taking to my computer in a little bit and show you some examples of me actually doing this in real time and kind of how I was able to do it and kind of like my approach to, posting my clients and my customers. What's going on, everyone? So a lot of you may be interested in figuring out how you can sell more cars and just make more money in general. Listen, click the first link in the description to join the Smarter Salesman University community. Once again, click the first link in the description to join the Smarter Salesman University community. I'm looking forward to helping you out, see if we can share some nuggets with you. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. Let's get back to the video. Right, so organic marketing, you can do that. You can also make tip videos, right? So maybe you can make a video giving tips to the viewer, right? To the buyer, essentially, right? But I had a series on my Instagram where you can see, like it says tips in one of my story highlights. You can see different videos of me just kind of providing tips, aka providing value, right? So those are like two ways, you can implement organic marketing as a car salesman. There's other things you can do as well. You can post entertainment / eye candy type of content. I covered that as well, right? So maybe if you have a nice car in your lot, you can put it to the side, make a cool video with it, whatever the case may be, right? So that's the first part of the visibility stack method, is to implement organic marketing, right, on social media, which is free, by the way. It doesn't cost you anything to do. Now, the second part of the visibility stack method is implementing paid marketing. So with paid marketing, before we would implement any type of paid marketing, first you got to understand who's your ideal customer, who is it that you're trying to go after, essentially, right? Like, what type of qualifications does this avatar need to have in order for you to be able to help them and get them approved, essentially. Once you have an idea of that, then you can go ahead and create an offer around that to attract that type of clientele, right? And I believe I do also have a video on this channel teaching you how to create an offer, essentially, right? But we also, inside of SSU, if you're not in there already, first link in the description for you to join that. If you're not, right, essentially we provide you like an offer library in one of the courses that we have where there's a bunch of different offers that you can run, essentially, that we know work specifically in the car sales industry, right? So if you're in a specific type of market, then there's different type of offers that work for that market, if that all makes sense, right? You can't run, an offer, for a prime market that would attract prime buyers per se, right, in the subprime market, and you can't, and vice versa. It doesn't work, right? So you need to have offers optimized for the market that you're in. Once you identify who's the type of customer that you can actually help, who's the specific avatar, what qualifications does that person need to have. Once you've identified that, then you can create an offer around it to pretty much like attract them to you, right? So when they're opening up the social media, they're seeing your ad and it's speaking directly to them, and it pretty much entices them to reach out to you. And then when they go on your page and they see the organic marketing, this is how you incorporate the visibility stack method. What that essentially does, and it makes you unavoidable on social media, right? So when people in your marketplace open up their phone, they're constantly seeing your content, they're constantly seeing your ads, and they're constantly seeing your face. So who do you think they're going to think of first when it's time for them to buy their car? It's going to be you, right? Because they're constantly seeing you. So that is pretty much the goal of the visibility stack method. And if you have your content dialed in correctly along with the paid marketing, then you're going to get an influx of leads coming in consistently. And over time, this is only going to grow and only get better, of course, right? Because you got to remember, your brand and your online presence is only going to grow over time. So this is a big reason to why I was able to make, over 30 grand in a single month and over 200 grand in just 9 months of selling cars at the age of 22, right? It's because I was able to generate my own leads, my own traffic by implementing essentially the visibility stack method, breaking down the organic marketing with the paid. All right, so we're actually going to jump into my computer where I can show you some examples of me actually doing this on my Instagram page with the content that I was posting and also some of the ads that I was running as well. So let's do it. Let's check it out. All right, so now we're on my computer where I kind of just want to show you some live examples of me implementing, the visibility stack method, right? So organic marketing, and then I'm gonna show you some of the actual paid ads that I was running that was helping me generate leads consistently, right? So if you go on my Corey King Automotive page, right, you'll see I got a bunch of customers that I, made videos with, right? So this is pretty much social proof right here, right? Now you don't have to, go as hard as what I was doing with the popping champagne or whatever the case may be, but simple pictures, as you can see, like some of my older pictures, right? Some of my older posts, it was just me with the customer, pretty much standing next to the customer, and then I'll promote my flyer at the end, right? But yeah, you can see it was pretty much just me with customers making videos. They're having, they're giving me testimonials, whatever the case may be, or I'm just taking a picture with them, right? If we go actually back to the top, right, you'll see there's a section right in the story highlights where it says tips. And if you were to click this section, you'll see it's just videos essentially of me, giving tips to the buyer, right? So one of them was talking about, getting gap insurance, right? And the importance of gap insurance, right? If you're financing a vehicle. One of this, I believe, is talking about credit unions or whatever the case may be, right? So I'm just creating content, right, to position me as the authority and also to build trust with my marketplace, right? So when people see these videos, they're like, oh, he's actually providing some valuable tips, some valuable information. If I need a car, I'm definitely going to reach out to him, right? So tips, pretty much clients, the client section, which is pretty much your, your social proof, along with some other things that you could be doing, like, cars. You can be posting vehicles, like I said, like some hot cars that might be on your lot. You might pull it to the side, make a cool video. I got some examples on this page as well. If you were to scroll down, you'll see some. Let's see if we can find one really quick. Like, for example, this video here, it was an LC 500. So I was like, let me just make a cool video with it, right? Transitions, you know what I mean? So you can do that as well. Keep the page engaging and entertaining. And yeah, that's pretty much, when it comes to posting organically, right? This is pretty much a layout of what you should do. Your page can mimic, this. You can kind of just make your page look similar with the outline and the layout. And now I want to show you some actual ads that I was running, to generate those leads. Because remember, it's a combination of both, right? So some of these ads, let's go into my ad account. See, this is an example of an ad.
Are you a currently employed first-time buyer and need a car? What's going on? It's Corey, your neighborhood car guy. Listen, if you're a first-time buyer that's currently employed and you get pay stubs and bank statements and you make at least $2,000 a month in provable income and you need a car, send me a DM right now. We have the best first-time buyer program with as low as $1,000 down to get you rolling off the day and get up to 90 days before you make your first payment. Doesn't matter if you have good credit, doesn't matter if you have no credit. If you've never financed a car before and you want the lowest rate and you want the best price and you just want reliable and affordable transportation, I'm helping people like you every single day find a perfect car for them. So if you're currently employed and a first-time buyer and interested in getting into a vehicle, send me a DM right now and I'll take care of the rest.
That's an example of one ad. I mean, I had another one here. I'll just play a little bit of it.
How would you like to buy a brand new 0 mileage or certified pre-owned Toyota? What's going on? It's Corey, your neighborhood car guy. Listen, if you're currently looking to buy a brand new 0 mileage or certified pre-owned Toyota and you want the best possible deal.
So, obviously, for you, your ads don't have to be exactly the same, right? This is why it's essential for you to figure out who's your ideal customer, what brand you might be working at, or if you work at like a used car dealer, what's the type of clientele that you guys can work with and improve. Once you have that understanding, then you can follow the framework that we've laid out when it comes to creating offers, right? When it comes to actually creating an ad itself, right? Because the framework is the same, but the offer itself might be a little bit different. The benefits that you mentioned in the offer might be a little bit different. Who you're trying to attract obviously is going to be contingent on the market that you're in, right? So once you've identified that, then creating the offer can be easy. And like I said, we have a whole offer library with different offers that you can pick and choose that we already know work for different markets, right? So that's essentially, live examples of the organic marketing with the paid. So yeah, I hope that was helpful. All right, so that's the breakdown of the visibility stack method. That was my exact strategy as a car salesman that helped me generate consistent leads and consistent customers, to hit those high income earning months, right? So pretty much you can implement this strategy as well. You can combine the organic with the paid. Let me know how it works for you. If you want more direct help, like I said, you can actually join SSU where we cover this, all step by step for you. But leave a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next, and I'll see you all in the next video. I'm glad you made it to the end of the video. I got two options for you. You can either watch the next video, or you can click the first link in the description to join the Smarter Salesman University community. If you're ready to take your car sales career to the next level, I'm looking forward to helping you out, see if I can share some nuggets with you. More importantly, looking forward to meeting you. Have a blessed day.